All right, everyone. My name is Steven. Today we're going to do a quick um, analysis, of the Exodus wallet because there's questions of whether or not the Exodus wallet is a secure place to store your crypto in comparison to having something like a hardware wallet. With Exodus, you can connect to devices such as the Trezor, and you will get the similar security that you would get with the Ledger Nano or one of the other devices. But you have the option of just having Exodus as your software wallet. So for some, the question might be whether or not it's secure. And to a certain extent, I'll just make the answer right now. Yes, it is a secure way to store your crypto in the sense that you are custodying your own currency, which means you are responsible for your own currency. Think of it like a wallet, your own personal wallet, instead of taking your money and giving it to the bank. So as long as you keep the information for your account, you are the sole person that will be able to access your cryptocurrency. And that's going to be in comparison to something like saying having the ledger where your wallet requires the hardware device in order to get your cryptocurrency or use your cryptocurrency. So let's go ahead and transfer over to a different scene. We're going to look at here. Actually, let me see. So you see here I'm running OBS, but what you're going to see behind this now, we're looking at the website for Exodus. Okay. Um, like I said, this video is to help people that are using Exodus in order, or either want to use Exodus or are using Exodus and have heard from people that it's not a secure way to store your crypto. As far as what I've read, I do believe it is a safe and secure way to store your crypto. So we'll kind of get into some reasons why it's different than having a hardware device. I personally would recommend having a hardware device. I don't think you should stop at just having a secure software form of storing your crypto. I don't believe that you're going to lose your crypto as if it was on an exchange. I would never recommend, however, that you keep your crypto on an exchange. That's the most dangerous place that you can keep it because you can either get it stolen off of the exchange when we know that a bunch of exchanges have been hacked, crypto has been taken, and you may or may not get it back depending on the circumstances around the hack and the theft. Um, Also, you have a chance of the exchange locking up your crypto for one reason or another. So they could confiscate your crypto for one reason or another, and who knows if you'll get it back. If you self-custodian, if you have it in your own wallet, you have control over where your cryptocurrency goes. And Exodus is a secure way to have a digital wallet or an online wallet that you can access from different places, and your crypto won't be able to be moved or taken away from you, uh, like if you actually had it stored in a wallet on an exchange, because an exchange has access to your public and private keys. There's a saying in crypto, you don't really own your crypto unless you have absolute control of your public and private keys. So with something like Exodus or the Ledger Nano and Ledger Nano or Ledger Live, or having a Trezor or a decent wallet, you have complete control over your cryptocurrencies because the seed phrases give you access to your public and your private key, specifically the private key. So in this article, we'll start off. Exodus staff does not have access to your wallet or to your private information. Unlike an exchange, this is no sign up required to use Exodus, and we do not collect email addresses or any personal information. So your connection to Exodus basically ends at you getting access to the software in order to store your crypto. So we're going to scroll down. Do I control my own wallet? So we'll just start right here because these are the subsections. You can pause and read them if you like. I'll give you a second, and then we're going to start here. Do I control my own wallet? Exodus believes in an individual's right to privacy and full control of their funds. We've incorporated these principles in our technical design choices for Exodus. Unlike your bank account or stock portfolio, this is what is referred to as a custodial access, with counterparty risk. Exodus, the company, doesn't actually hold any assets on your behalf. Exodus is a non-custodial wallet with no counterparty risk. So basically, there is nobody else that's going to be able to come in and either rescue your cryptocurrency. You have complete control over this wallet. They just give you the software that you need in order to be able to control your currency. Now, that's different from like a bank, which has full access to your account and can move money as they wish. This is like you becoming your own bank, or you having your money in your wallet. If it gets stolen, well, it was your money in your wallet, and it's on you. You control your assets through a set of private keys generated from when you first opened your wallet. Exodus is an accountless wallet, which means there is no account to sign up for, to receive and use Exodus. You are essentially your own bank. And so we make it very clear. Once again, you are complete control, which means that you are responsible for securing your own assets. What are private keys and why do they matter to me? Exodus is a hierarchical deterministic wallet, so an HD wallet, which means there is a master key and an individual set of private keys for each of your individual addresses in your wallet. So let's say you have Bitcoin and you have Ethereum. They're going to both have different private keys, public and private keys. And as we continue to read here, the 12-word secret recovery phrase is the master key that provides access to your entire wallet, including all of the assets inside. If Exodus was a house with many rooms, consider this your master key to the whole house and the key to controlling all of your assets. The individual private keys are different from the 12-word phrase because they match only one address for each asset. This is sometimes referenced as a public-private key pair. So, with your 12-word phrase, you'll have access to both the public and the private key. In most cases, and you need both of those in order to do a transaction with someone else or do a transaction with an exchange. This is making very clear that with your 12-word phrase, you'll have complete access. So that means you don't want to give that information to anyone. You want to keep it secure and keep it safe. However, your 12 words aren't going to be the actual private key that connects to, let's say, your Bitcoin wallet or your Ethereum wallet or your XRP wallet. So it just gives you access to the information that is stored and encrypted. Your Exodus wallet is a software application running locally on your computer. It creates and manages your private keys offline. So this information is not stored online. It's actually stored in your personal computer. Now, what that means for your access and being secure is if you lose your device that has this information, it could be detrimental to you. So that key information is stored on your computer and is never stored there. However, we're going to later read that they do store some information that would allow you to recover your private keys, if I'm not mistaken. So we'll go through and see about that. Since we also do not control your funds, it is very important to always keep your private keys secure by never giving them to an untrustworthy site or third party. Exodus staff will never ask for your 12-word passphrase or your 12-word phrase or private keys. So you don't even give it to anybody that you're calling for support. You never give it to anyone. How is my transaction and balance information displayed? You can read that on your own. That's not, I'll read it. Exodus uses publicly available information from each of the assets blockchains to build the current and past information in your wallet. Exodus, the company, provides some of the infrastructures for collecting and maintaining this data. However, we have no means of tying your individual transactions, including exchanges, with our third-party exchange API providers to personally identifying information. So they're not able to take and just through their software, make it where your actual information is coming because it's associated with you specifically. They provide some of the infrastructure for collecting and maintaining this data. However, we have no means of tying your individual transactions, including exchanges with our third-party exchange API providers, to personally identifying information. How does Exodus differ from traditional exchanges with wallets? We differ from hosting exchanges like Coinbase or Binance because they're in full control of your private keys and require an account. So that means you have to create a username and login in order to interact with their exchanges. That also pulls in your personal information, or they request your personal information in order to remove certain restrictions such as depositing, withdrawing. Um, I'm not exactly sure which specific things require what level of information that they're going to ask from you, but to get to the higher levels of being able to deposit, you have to give more personal information, and all that information is stored on you about your cryptocurrency. I personally don't care for that. Um, I mean, if I move dollars around or give somebody $5 or something like that, it's nobody's business. And it's the same thing with my cryptocurrency. If I move 1,000 cryptocurrency here or there, it's nobody's business, um, except between me and the person that I'm doing an exchange with. So they act like traditional banking accounts where your funds are held by the account provider. The benefit is that you could lose every password or email account you have, but there is always a chance to get access to your account back if they allow it. So think about it. If you walk in, you lose your bank card, but you have your ID, you can prove who you are through your social, they'll give you back access to your account because they have full control of your account. But you also run into a situation, which we're going to read right here. They can also freeze your account or seize your assets. See, I don't like the idea of my assets being seized for any reason, or having my assets frozen, which basically means, have you ever tried to go and swipe your card somewhere? You knew you had the funds, but for whatever reason, the account type that you're trying to connect to or give money to is not accepted, or they think it's shady, so they stop the transaction. That can be very frustrating, especially if you're going to a store to buy clothes or something and you're in line swiping your card and they flag it as unusual and they won't let the transaction go through. If you've ever had that happen, very annoying, and having to call and get them to unlock your card and while you're still standing in line is just super annoying. Some exchanges delay for months in getting their customers' funds back to them if there are ever any issues. Some never return them at all. So in some cases, you might get something stolen, and it's just you're out of luck, um, because and they may have access to be able to pull the funds back, but there's no guarantees that you'll get them back. And I'm sure you've either been through something or heard of horror stories where somebody wasn't able to receive their money back in a situation like that. And through history, and history repeats itself, there have been runs on banks and different things like that where your assets are not secure. Right now, banks are really depleted in how much funds they have. I mean, so you can be in a situation where the banks may not be in the mood or able to give you your own funds, let alone if something happens where somebody's able to get access to your account and steal your funds. So since you own and hold your private keys with Exodus, you are 100% in control, which once again means you're 100% responsible for your security. Don't share your information. Uh, how does Exodus store and use my data? What information about my wallet is visible and stored by Exodus Movement Inc.? So let's see. Exodus has gone to great lengths to ensure your data and transactions are protected and remain private for your eyes only. Although your private keys never leave your computer or mobile device, Exodus takes extra steps to safeguard even the simplest things like your settings, currency preferences, theme choices, background color, etc. Along with your transaction and exchange information because this information is personal to you and not stored on the public blockchain. Exodus encrypts this data with a password only known to you to keep this information private and secure even when using Exodus across multiple devices. So that information isn't going to just be transferred to another device. You have to put in your password. The first component of this protection is the secure encryption of your metadata, a key derived from your 12-word secret recovery phrase is used to encrypt your backup metadata. This means the only way to decrypt this data is if someone knows your 12-word secret recovery phrase, at which point you probably have bigger problems to deal with. So if somebody gets your secret phrase, they can get access to your entire account, which would be detrimental to your funds. It's like somebody getting your debit card and having uh, either a fake ID or having your PIN and just swiping wherever they want and being able to spend all the money in your account. So Exodus goes one step further to obscure and protect your data by making all data files used to sync your accounts between devices the same relative size, so even a casual observer with access to this data could not sniff out differences. Basically, this is a high level type of hacking. If somebody was to go and get the packet data, which is the internet is sent in packets. Even if they were to get the packet data, they wouldn't be able to determine one account's information compared to another. And Exodus has a bunch of these packets coming from all sorts of different accounts. So they would need your passphrase in order to be able to actually group together the ones that connect your wallet and get access. So it's a double layer of security. Imagine each piece of data is all in cardboard boxes in a room with billions of cardboard boxes. It's just people. It's going to be very, very difficult for somebody to piece all that together to then try to discover your security phrase, your passphrase. Even further, similar to public blockchains like Bitcoin, the data is not directly bundled with any personal names that can easily link transactions to individual users. These same rules apply to malicious hackers looking for data or even Exodus employees and our own founders for that matter. This is the reason if you email Exodus support to help you unlock your wallet or have us help you reset your password, we can't. Only you have access to the backup that can decrypt your files. It was designed this way from the beginning to give full control to only you. So the benefit in the crypto space and becoming your own bank is that you have complete control, but you also control the security, and you have to be aware of what may happen if you aren't responsible in how you should secure your assets. And if you don't think that you could be responsible for those, you need to find a responsible custodian to be able to handle that or learn how to use these devices to keep your currency secure. But you wouldn't be allowing somebody else to get access to your secret information, because if you do, they can steal your value. They can steal whatever value you have in different cryptocurrencies or fiat currencies, which is regular money like dollars. In addition, when using the in-wallet exchange feature with our third-party exchange API providers, IP addresses are checked to prevent exchanges from sanctioned jurisdictions. So here it's explaining that they'll check your internet's IP address and see where you are in the world in order to make sure that they're complying with local laws so that the API and Exodus won't be in trouble for operating in areas or giving access to people in areas where access is forbidden by their government. So that's a piece of information that's visible. And then they're also saying the paragraph above is explaining that Bitcoin network you can see every single transaction. So eventually you can trace it back to a specific wallet. However, the wallet doesn't directly necessarily identify you, but they might be able to tell based off of the patterns of purchases and sales from that wallet who it is eventually. What information is stored by Exodus support? Whenever you reach out to Exodus support for assistance, we keep a record of our conversations to better assist you over the entire length of your experience as our customer. This includes your email address and contents of your emails. Exodus only collects the information you directly give us via email or other correspondence as required to provide customer support. To respect your privacy at any point, you can request a record of this data, or you can request that we amend the data if it is incorrect. You can also request that we erase your support data. To make a data request, send an email and we will respond as quickly as possible. So if you want, after you ask, if you're calling in for support and they get some contact information, they can later, when you're done with support, you can ask them to completely delete it if you want to. What information is stored when I visit the Exodus website. For information on exactly what data we keep when you visit the website and the different kinds of data requests you can send, please refer to our privacy policy. So I just wanted to go through this and show at different levels why using Exodus is actually very secure. It is a software wallet, and it doesn't give you 24-word passphrase like you would get with a device like the Ledger. It's 12 words. But as long as nobody gets access to those 12 words, you'll have full access. I'm not sure if the backup is a file that you need to remove from the computer and put on a flash drive so that you can recover access, because this did talk about your metadata, which creates a backup file. I'm not sure if that needs to be put on a flash drive and stored somewhere else just in case your computer crashes, the computer that you're using the Exodus software or API on. So I'll have to do more research into that. But think of this like using, if you use the Ledger Live. Ledger Live, without having to have the Ledger Nano S, the Ledger Nano, I think it's Plus, and the Ledger Nano X. With that, you need the physical device in order to interact with your wallet. So it's kind of a second layer of defense beyond just your passwords or your passphrase. With your passphrase for the Ledger devices, you can throw your device away and get another one and get back access. So as long as somebody has a Ledger and your passphrase, they can get access to your crypto. Same thing with Exodus, except without the device. You don't need a hardware device. You can just use the software on the computer, but I believe you need the metadata in order to access it, or you need to be on the computer that you set up your Exodus account with. So let's say I set up Exodus, the API here. I would need my 12-word secret recovery phrase in order to get in, and I believe a password. You can create a password with that to get access. And then the recovery metadata, the backup metadata, I'm not sure if you get it, you can take it and put it on a flash drive and keep your account secure that way in order to go to another computer, reinstall the software, and get back access to your crypto. Because once again, you are completely responsible for your crypto, and hopefully the device that you're using, you're making sure it's secure. That might mean that you need to get a Faraday bag for a computer or a mobile device in order to protect it from electromagnetic waves, because EMPs will destroy and fry technology, and you never know what could happen. So I hope this helped some people get a little bit better understanding of Exodus, why it would be beneficial if you don't have a hardware wallet or may not have the money for a hardware wallet, because they could be easily $100 or more, especially buying them brand new. Some of them, I believe the Trezor is like $200 or $300 for the Trezor T. I would personally get the Trezor T because I want to be able to hold XRP. And then you have, if you want to have multiple applications on, for example, the Ledger Nano, I have the Ledger Nano S, but you might want the Ledger Nano X because it holds way more programs. The Ledger Nano S holds like 3 programs. So I have the Ledger Nano S right here. but the Ledger Nano X can hold 100 or so programs. You don't really have to worry about that with other devices like the Decent. I believe it holds a bunch of different programs. I'm only going to ever really hold like max maybe 15 cryptos. So, I mean, in the main ones I'm thinking about holding, it's like five. But I could see myself possibly holding 5 to 10, maybe 15 cryptos. So, I mean, I really don't need that much, but the options there with some of these devices. I want to let you guys know also at the end of this, I am not a financial advisor. Do your own research. Feel free to ask me whatever questions, and I will share what information I can find. I will put this link down in the description. If this helped you, or if you have any questions, go ahead and leave a question down in the comments, or any suggestions. And if you can, hit that thumbs up. I am your unbroken asset, and I will see you guys, in the next video.